On the following up on the issue of this, the two schools that I've mentioned that the state government has allocated and budgeted 40 over million for the building of these two schools. Okay, I'll just like to highlight a few points. Number one, these two schools are Sekolah Ulu Segan Bintulu, budgeted by the state government to be built at a sum of 40.1 million. And the second one, SK Meludam Betong, budgeted to be built at a sum of 48.2 million ringgit Malaysia. Okay, these two projects are state projects, right? Projects done by the state government, and this year half of the amount for each school has been allocated in our budget. Yesterday, there's some reply given by Nangka members from Nangka to say different schools, different amount. By whatever standard one set, 40 million to build one school is way above the norm. It's double or triple, even quadruple the amount. I call upon Nangka as the assistant minister in charge of education, and also Michael Maing as the minister in charge of education, to disclose fully the specification for these two schools, how many classrooms, how many labs, what are the equipments to be supplied for these schools. Bearing in mind, one of the schools has only 235 students. Okay. So how many?
235.
The one that is Segan. Segan. SK Segan.
Or the other school?
The other school, I have two figures I have yet to confirm. Alright, one figure that I got is about 300 over students, but the other figure that I got is for another source is about 600. So I have yet to confirm. Okay, these are Meludam, SK Meludam. I don't know the number of students, but whatever it is, even I mean, if you talk about all the schools that has Class A schools where you have 1,000 students, you don't need 40 million. You don't need 40 million to build any schools, even schools with 1,000 students. And here you have the state government building two schools, each with 40 million plus. So this is clear abuse. Alright, so I'm challenging this Nangka and Michael Maing to disclose the full specification for the building of the schools. And also, how is the award of the contract to be tendered out? Whether contractor has been selected, consultant has been appointed for the construction of these schools. Okay? Alright, any question?
Oh, this one is still not yet contracted now.
It is allocated in this the 2019 budget.
State budget lah.
Yeah, state budget. These are state projects. Alright, so I will reiterate my call that don't treat development projects as the ATM machine for their cronies. Okay?
What did you say?
It's regarding the two schools, the SK Ulu Segan and SK Meludam.
Okay. First thing, I want to tell you all. Everything about school is any contract, any development about school is all handled by federal. Okay. Except that two schools is a walkabout by the chief minister. Okay. Chief minister do the walkabout, and the Ulu Segan is at Bintulu. Where is it?
Yes, Bintulu.
That school is actually currently situated. Yearly has banjir, flooded, so it has to move to other area. I can show you the picture the artist's impression on that later on. Okay. It's the money. You have to go through all is federal and only that 2 schools. Okay. Because it's a commitment from the state government. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2, he's questioning about what is the question?
Yeah, he's saying that why does it need to cost so much?
Okay,
this
I
school?
responded to that one just now. This school, it has an asrama.
Okay.
Okay, asrama for 200 students. Okay. It's not only a class school. It has asrama. When you have asrama, it have to be 2 blocks, boys and girls. Okay, and you must have a Dewan Makan. Certain school you don't need all this, so it's cheaper. I agree. That's number 1 that you have to consider. Number 2 you have to consider is the location. Okay, if you build a house in Kuching, transportation is less, but they could be more expensive. I'm just speculating. Okay. But this is all the factors that have to be considered. And number 3 is also the soil structure. We do not know whether there's no information to me that whether the soil structure costs more or less with the infrastructure. All have to be accounted for. You cannot equate that a school A costs 40 million, the other school B also must cost 40 million. Cannot be like that. See? And also, very important, he mentioned that why is it 250 students need 40 million then?
Yes.
This is, to me, is unfair because that area is going to grow. The kampong people, the population is going to increase. They might plan it to accommodate future. If you accommodate for 250, what for you build only for 250? In 10 years time, you have built another school.
Yeah.
It could be more expensive. As a leader, be more responsible lah. I say, you have to plan for future, not for today. Okay, not only for today. You have to plan for future. That's it. That's my response. So you can equate school A to 40 million, school B must also 40 million. School A 30 million, school B also 30 million. Cannot be like that. Yeah? Transportation, soil structure, the needs for future, all have to be included. You cannot generalize. So he is already a deputy minister. He has to be more responsible in asking some of this query.